hardworking, honorable, family man, 4 children, works hard, will do anything for his friends, right? So they bring in a bunch of Pakistanis. Don't be a bigot. Don't be a bigot. They know that isn't real, what they're saying. Like when they try and shame you for not standing up for your family's future, they know what they're doing. They're preying on your own weakness. The sick pig is preying on the brick pig to not see how sick they can be. Why do you think I don't care when people call me names? Like mainstream Republicans are like, well, if we agree with abortion and gay marriage, they'll stop calling us names. We win again. Oh, God, it's disgusting. Okay, so Ryan has to work extra hard, more hours to compete with the Pakistanis who have a way higher percentage of accidents. Now they have to do more regulation now, way more time in the chair, right? That's taken a toll on his back so bad that, like, this last month he's been in constant, like, crazy pain. Okay, there might as well be a slave driver on his back just stabbing his back. Like, that's that pain, and it's even worse than slavery 1.0 because you don't even know what it is. One of the biggest decaying factors in our society is that people think they did it to themselves. One of the most painful experiences a human being can feel, and this is proven by studies over and over and over again, is exile, isolation, and social shame. That's way, way more destructive on your health. It'll make you comply faster than physical torture. They did that to me in a way that's so brutal and public and just mind-blowingly unfair that when people are like, well, you shouldn't have said that. I'm like, I'm a comedian. And by the way, Americans have to stop telling other nations how to behave because America is retarded at this point. We've accepted just this feminized male and this money-obsessed Jewish nature that is not our culture, it's not our nation, and it's crippling us, and we're not protecting our own, and we're literally humiliating the working man who's providing for his family in America as they lose everything because these snakes that claim to represent us are lying. So when the people of France, when that first started, when Macron was like, it is bigotry to not sell out your family and your children's future, blah, blah. If people are just like, no, we won't do it. We're not doing that. And they're like, but you will make less money. It's like, we'll be fine. You're a snake. It ends there. And it got pushed to the degree where now their churches are burning. And that's because they've spent so much time out of their truth, out of reality, lying, that the repercussion will be losing that which was given to them by God, given to them by believing in the higher law. The law is not made by men. The law is made by your commitment to the discipline of the future, of the love of your family. The fact that these people can't understand why I would not capitulate, why I wouldn't censor myself, why I wouldn't do. Okay, so many of those comedians that said I was insane, right? They're like, why won't you just say the nonsense? You'll lose lollipops and fancy pants. I'm like, because it's wrong and it'll hurt children, right? It's like, but having a child is selfish in this world. That's the art of war. Get your enemy to commit suicide. They don't take pleasure in going to war with us. It's not about pleasure. It's about money. It's cold. It's strategic. If you step out of line, no matter how rich or powerful you are, they take it. Watch this. This is going to blow your mind. Right? This really cool Israeli guy talking about the slave trade and Israel's relationship with black people and how the Talmud talks about black people and stuff. And this is one reason why it just don't lie, Jews. Understand that, like, when you say something isn't in the Talmud, there are other Jews that have way more commitment to truth, and they will tell you the truth, and then you look foolish, and then no one listens to you anymore. Like, your word is so valuable. Giving that up for momentary conversation etiquette or money is insane. It's insane. Okay, when my mouth makes noises, it affects people and they listen because I'm not a liar. Once you're a confirmed liar, The noises you make. Like, read CNN. When that cathedral's burning, no matter what they say, you have no idea if it's true. All you know is it's burning, right? They could say, oh, it's construction workers. Oh, it's Muslims. Oh, it's the far right. You have no idea because they're liars. They've broken your trust so many times in an attempt to manipulate you and ruin your morale so that you commit cultural suicide that they have no power. They're losing power so fast. Watch this. This is a story that you never heard.
But 5 years ago, the issue of black folks in Israel came up in the US media. Very, very rare. It's almost never, ever discussed. But finally, someone brought it up. Who was that guy? This guy, then the owner of NBA basketball team. And what he said was, you go to Israel, the blacks are just treated like dogs.
Okay, so I don't know if your mind is blown yet. Do you understand who that was? It's Donald Sterling. Remember the whole story? Look at this. Look at how it's reported. Look at this. Look at this. Racist ex-Clippers owner Donald Sterling to evict section. Okay. Donald Sterling got humiliated in the media. Remember that? As a racist because that was punishment. It was punishment because he was the one who wasn't. The worst evil are the ones who are part of the tribe that are betraying their own. Donald Sterling broke the silence and just open. These people in the power pyramid, Donald Sterling, multi-billionaire Jewish owner of men, right? And he gives them just tons of money and he just makes them play basketball. And all he said was that in Israel, which is true, by the way, this whole video, they go on and on, like major rabbis say that they're closer to monkeys than humans. And, you know, it's a fact. It's fine. Whatever. You can believe what you believe. But Sterling pointed out a basic, obvious truth. Basic. If you go to Israel, they treat blacks like dogs. It's true. Those guys aren't allowed to say anything true. Do you think that guy's in control? Do you think that guy has any ability to inflict, like to do anything? They're the ultimate slaves. And a lot of people that work for a living and, you know, that haven't been exposed to some of these levels of power and wealth, they have a really hard time comprehending what I'm saying. So that guy said something that's true and not that crazy and easily provable. So the result was the media, owned by the same people that he was criticizing, publicly humiliated him to a degree where he lost his own basketball team and is now known publicly as a racist. And there was nothing he could do about it. Okay, that's why you don't kneel, you don't sell out your own people, because your reward. On paper, you look at my life and you're like, you know, infamous, humiliated, anti-Semitic, racist, transphobic, child-hating neo-Nazi who's forced to live in the wilderness and not allowed to perform anymore, you know, rants to his computer about, like, on paper, that's what they try to portray me. But anyone who knows me or watches me is like, man, you're living it up, man. You're living the dream. And it's like, why is that? Because I've accepted my nature. I've accepted the nature of life. I've accepted what is, you know, what is my role? My role is to protect my family at all costs, provide, you know, absolutely sick over Notre Dame. Yeah, but we know that that's coming. Like, we knew that that's coming. It's failed. It's over. That's a kindness that God just showed everybody. It's like the beauty, the history, the craft of a sacred, historical, beautiful Christian church. Well, you don't get it anymore because you knelt and you broke covenant. That's a kindness that God just showed people. And if you don't get that message, if you don't see that the burning of the cathedral is a wake-up call, the next message from God will be insane, and you deserve it. That burning of that cathedral is not a tragedy. That's a kindness. That is a wake-up call. That is a smack in the ass when you're an insolent child. All that care and belief and love and honor and tradition, it's just dust if you don't have what it is. if you don't stand for it, if you don't live it, if you don't speak it. If you go through the motions and act like something is real that isn't, and allow your people to be sold out, you don't deserve that. Watch it burn and learn from that. And you deserve every bit. You deserve worse than that. Way worse. That is a friendly reminder from your local creator that if you break the covenant, you live lies, you commit that many sins, you don't get to have that. Because it all can be taken from you. All of it. This is all a gift from God. This is because God loves us. You don't deserve any of it. This is an honor. But we have a First Amendment. You didn't earn it. You say N-word instead of nigger because you're complying. You didn't earn it. So they'll take it. If you don't live it, if you are in a position where you self-censor to get stuff, and you're like, but the First Amendment is there to protect you, you're already losing it because it's just a piece of paper. God's burning down a cathedral as we speak. You don't think you can take out a parchment paper? Do you think that there's anything in that paper that has been given to you by that paper? God gives you that. That paper is kindling. The Constitution is a nice way to start a fire if you don't believe and you don't live it. That cathedral was a gift from God through the people who believed and weren't liars. And if you don't want to stick to that, if you want to pretend that the protection of your own people and your own families is some kind of bigot, racist, homophobe, so that you get more money or you don't face social shame, you don't deserve the cathedral. As you watch it burn, you should be thankful that that's all God took. That cathedral was a representation of the order, the beauty, the trust, the commitment of a nation that believed in God. And it was so beautiful that millions of people would travel from all around the world to just look at it, just to on an instinctive level understand that there is beauty in this world and that which is dark and evil and wicked doesn't always win, because that human beings were capable of making that cathedral to honor their creator. Okay, human beings are now living such a sick and selfish and pathetic and disrespectful life that they don't get to look at it anymore because they don't live it. That's just stone. It's just wood. The soul of it is how you live, how you speak, what you believe, what you're willing to sacrifice in order to keep it. Because if you think you own that cathedral, God can destroy all of this just like that. Because God gives you free will and God loves you and God creates you. He loves you so much that his son died for you. Like the least you can do is not sodomize each other in a parking lot and sell out your nuclear family so Ben Shapiro can make some more money. That's literally the least you can do is stop wearing the fancy pants. Put your wife and children and your friends and community's future ahead of your own wicked desire for money. And if you're not capable of that, then you don't get to look at that cathedral anymore outside of a photograph. And just know that you earned that. You deserve that. And take it to heart. This isn't recent, guys. This isn't like one policy. This is France just humiliating the very people that make France France. As their leader who fashions himself a god with no children, sells out his own people to banks. And as he's doing it, he's humiliating them and lying to them, making them feel shame, and importing a new crop of humans that are willing to work for less to please his masters. Well, there's a price for that. And every step of that, people knew it. Just say like, hey guys, we're French. There's no hate in wanting to provide for my family. That migrant is here to make them rich. He's lying to us. No. And everyone's like, yeah, good call. And then when you do that, it's just, boop, it opens up. And then you look at the ashes of your cathedral and you're like, the future generations will learn what they lose when they break this, hopefully.